Hello and welcome to this week's episode of Behind the Stunts. I'm John Orty. Thanks very much indeed for joining me once again. Our movie for this particular week is Prisoners. It stars Jake Gyllenhaal and Hugh Jackman. Keller Dover is Hugh Jackman's name in this. I'm sure they made that up at some point during the course of the proceedings. It's very difficult to say and isn't mentioned that often during the picture, but just to let you know. His daughter and her friend go missing. He takes matters into his own hands as the police pursue multiple leads and the pressure mounts. But how far will a father go to get back his daughter? That's the basis of the picture. Its second unit director and stunt coordinator is Steve Ritchie, who many of you will know from Looper, G.I. Joe Retaliation, and Employee of the Month as stunt coordinator on those pictures. Started his career back in 1992 on Passenger 57 and went on to work on Blade, Face Off, doubling John Travolta during the boat chase sequence. In certain sequences, I know there was a number of doubles, but he was one of them. And Bad Boys 2, to name but a few. Predominantly his requirement here is to coordinate the action, the car chase action, and there's a nighttime action sequence here involving some 56 different stunt performers using numerous methods of precision driving, including, and this is not all of them, but I will mention a few here, Brent Bernard, Max Calder, Elizabeth Davidovich, Robert Nagel, the great Charlie Picerni turns up for a bit of precision driving too, and Justin T. Woods. Just a few there, 56 altogether. Well worth a look, I must admit. Some good stuff going on here, and this is the trailer, and it's out on Friday, okay?
Happy Thanksgiving!
Happy Thanksgiving!
Anna, wait until we're invited.
Oh, for God's sake, Keller, get the hell in here.
What?
He actually sings in the shower. It's a whole...
I do not.
Yes, you do.
Abby, can I take Joy to our house?
And wear a hat, please. You're just getting over a cold.
Joe, you wear a hat too.
Where are your sisters?
I can't find them.
Anna? Joy?
Wait, I checked the entire house. They're not here.
Dad, there was this RV, and they were playing on it. We thought there was someone inside.
You wait here.
Let me go.
I couldn't find them!
Detective Loki.
Do you have children, detective?
I'm gonna find your daughter.
Show me your hands right now! Huh?
You put those girls somewhere, Alex. No. I know you put those girls somewhere.
He stays in custody until my daughter's found, right?
We have a 48-hour hold on. It ends tomorrow unless we bring charges.
We'll charge him with something.
That boy has never been in trouble, not a day in his life.
Well, this thing's clean. I'd start looking in the woods by the rest stop.
The police said they're letting him go today.
What you doing? Tell me! Oh, no! Day 6, and every day she's wondering why I'm not there.
You told us that you could protect us from everything.
Why did you look for my daughter? Alex.
What in the world did you do?
Someone has to make him talk, or they're gonna die.
We're not gonna help Keller, but we won't stop him either. Let him do what he needs to.
I know you know where they are. Where's my daughter?
Right, good stuff there. As I say, that's out on Friday. Now, our stunt reel for this particular week is a lady. And when she was growing up as a child in Pennsylvania, she started playing numerous sports and studied martial arts, beginning at the age of 5. Now, being a younger sister, she knew and felt fairly necessary at an early age to decide that she was well versed in most fighting techniques, you know, the way that sibling rivalry goes along. And along the way, she learned mental and physical disciplines that required to fully embody the spirit of of the martial artist. She was a skateboarder and an athlete growing up, but really what she wanted to be was an actor. She wanted to act, and now she's managed to combine the two, performing stunts on movies such as Paranormal Activity 2, John Carter, and next year you will see her in The Amazing Spider-Man 2, which will be released. So she's managed to do all of that and much more. We're going to see a great deal more of her, I know. Ladies and gentlemen, I give you Heidi Germaine Schnappauf.
Tonight on America's Most Wanted.
I get knocked down, but I get up again. You're never gonna keep me down. I get knocked down, but I get up again. You're never gonna keep me down.
Lots of great stuff there, and always good to hear the unofficial stunt anthem, Chumbawamba's Tub Thumping remixed there. She gets knocked down, but she gets up again, so always good to see that. So yeah, lots of great stuff on there, and I must admit we're going to see a great deal more of it in the future. Now, our classic sequence for this particular week, we go to its films this week. We go to back to 1966, and James Coburn movie In Like Flint is the picture. Another spy caper. Around the time Bond came out, Matt Helm came out, The Man from U.N.C.L.E. came out, and Derek Flint is the only man who can save the world against the doers of evil. In this particular sequence, what you're going to see is him breaking in to a villain's lair. And what you're going to see is Paul Stader doing a great deal of the doubling for James Coburn and overpowering many of the guards, which, as you may predict, is a fairly easy task. Have a look at this. done. I must admit that the editing is very, very clever. You can really, there are only a few frames, less than a frame, where you can say that's Paul Stader, that's James Coburn. The doubling was absolutely exquisite. And predominantly on the entire picture, 9 or 10 stunt people. I mean, that's it. I mean, you saw that particular sequence there. There's a great many more action sequences there. And if you just look at the performers who were involved in that sequence, and on the movie itself, it's like a who's who of the early stunt business within the United States. You have John Dayham, who was stunt coordinator on Roller Coaster and Earthquake towards the 70s. Dick Dial, who was involved as a stunt performer on The Searchers, the John Wayne picture The Searchers, and Von Ryan's Express. Nick Dimitri, who worked on all of the original Planet of the Apes movies and also worked on pictures like Cleopatra Jones. Robert Buzz Henry, who worked on Shenandoah and Tony Rome. Bob Heron, who worked on Tobruk, Raid on Rommel, and Paint Your Wagon as a musical as well. Chuck Hicks, Point Blank, Cool Hand Luke, to name but two. The great Charlie Pacerni, who we mentioned earlier on, who's involved in The Prisoners this week. He started way back when. Of course, he's been working on The Man from U.N.C.L.E. And then was a stunt coordinator on Roadhouse, Die Hard 2. Ron Vito, who worked on Donovan's Reef and the Western The Professionals. And Henry Wills, who was involved in How the West Was Won and The Magnificent Seven. I mean, just the list of those movies alone is staggering, and to think that all of those performers turn up in that particular sequence in that movie just goes to show them. A bunch of these guys started back in the 30s and 40s, and to say how the business has evolved since then, it's an incredible feat of engineering. That was In Like Flint. That was our movie for this particular week. We will be back next week with more of the same. Visit the YouTube channel. If you like what you see, subscribe. It's always good to have fellow subscribers about this. Many of you I know have, but many of you haven't. So come along and visit and subscribe. You know it makes sense. Thanks very much indeed for watching. We will see you again next week. So stay safe and all the very best for now. Bye-bye.
Hi, this is Rick Avery, and I'm giving a shout out to Behind the Stunts, specifically to John Audi. No one is more knowledgeable about how we do stunts and some of the greatest stories behind the stunts than John. Tune in as often as you can. Boom!